Vivek, have I gotten back on mute again?
No, I'm not mute.
No. Okay, I'm talking about my one. That's fine. Carry on.
Okay. So I have started the presentation.
Sure.
It's not coming full screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
I have made it full screen.
So
Vivek, you can do it if you are admin.
The slideshow.
I think that will be fine. I mean, I can see it. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll remove the ribbon also.
Sure.
Now it's okay. So this is the topic, Mahamaheshwar Acharya Vinogupta. Just a minute.
Vivek bhai, I sent you a message on WhatsApp how to do full screen.
Today we will be discussing about Sri Sri Paratrimshika and specifically the Vivran or Vivritti of Mahamaheshwar Acharya Vinogupta. So let's start. Janami dharmam nachame pravrittir janami dharmam nachame nivritti tvaya swamina hridhi sthitena yatha niyukto asmi tatha karomi antaraya timirau shantaye sweshta shakti karunaruna prabham santanotu munivrinda sevitam bhavagamyam anisham shivam maha karunapuri chittam satchid rupam param divyam ब्रह्म सहचरीम तुर्याम बगलाम शक्तिम प्रणोमि सौभाग्याम यत् कारुण्यम वेक्ष भाव भरितम सानंद गीतम सताम तच्चिंता निगुणैः शुद्धमतयो ये साधका सज्जना तेषां लब्ध कृपालवेन जननी बोधोदयो में अभवत् तदवृत्तं विनिवेद्य सांप्रत महं तोषं परं प्राप्तवान्. So these are my two revered gurus. Already Rakesh Bhai has introduced about them. First picture of Sri Aghoreshwar Bhagwan Ram from Kashi and another one is of Sri Swamiji Maharaj Datiya. Then second, so before we enter in the details of scripture, we shall first of all understand the Anubandha Chatushtay of Sri Sri Paratrimshika. So what is Anubandha Chatushtay? It is Vishesh Chadikari cha Granthasya cha Prayojanam Sambandha Chaturtho Asti Anubandha Chatushtayam. So in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 principal features of a scripture are told. What are these 4 principal features? These are Vishay, Prayojan, Adhikari and Sambandh. When these 4 features come together, a scripture is formulated. So first of all, what is Vishay? Vishay stands for the topic under discussion. Then Prayojan. Prayojan stands for the reason behind composition. Then Adhikari, which stands for eligibility. And then Sambandh, that is relation between the material which is delivered by text and the one who is delivering that. So Anubandha Chatushtaya of Sri Sri Paratrimshika. So here the Vishay is Anuttar. The main narrative or main topic which would be delivered here is Anuttar. So Anuttar only would be discussed here all around in this entire discussion which would go on for various days. Then there is Prayojan. Okay. So prayojan means why this scripture has been composed, why Sri Sri Paratrimshika has been composed. So first of all, I'd like to tell you that Sri Sri Paratrimshika is not an independent scripture. These are 35 verses from Rudrayamal Tantra, and they talk about Shakti Tattva. For example, Vigyan Bhairav is there, which talks about Shiva Tattva. This talks about Shakti Tattva. So the prayojan of this scripture is to make all pramatas realize pramata. We all are pramata. To understand in simple language, we all are pramata. The one who understands, who realizes the prameya by the virtue of praman is pramata. And all these three exist on the ground which is called as prama. So that is another detailed discussion. We will not enter into that. So in general, pramata is anyone who is observing, who is observer, who is seeing the things, maybe of this world or beyond this world. So to make all pramatas realize their real selves. What is their real selves? Which is Chidananda Rupa. Every single individual pramata is Chidananda Sarup only. There is no other form. Irrespective of caste, religion, faith, even if he or she is atheist, even if it is an animal, or even if it is an object like table, chair, even if it is an emotion like sorrow and happiness or joy, or even if it is like cold or winter, everything in this world is Chidananda Rup only. So because all of them cannot do this, and humans have special feature that they can realize this thing. So amongst 84 lakh yonis, humans have that specific feature. Amongst all living beings, humans only have that specific feature that they can move on this path, they can tread on this path, and they can realize these facts. So the intention, prayojan means objective. Objective of creating the scripture is to make all the pramatas realize themselves that they are Chidanandarup. How it would be done? It would be done by making you realize that your aham stands for, in aham, A stands for Shiva, Ha stands for Shakti, and Ma stands for Nar. So where Shiv, Shakti and Nar are discussed, that is called as Trik. Wherever Shiv, Shakti and Nar are discussed, that is called as Trik. So wherever Shiv, Shakti and Nar, these three are, when they come together in the form of, in creative process, it is called as aham. And in case of destruction or sanghara avastha, it would be called as maha. So aham of self, your real self, your real identity, that only is called as aham brahmasmi in Vedanta. So your real identity, what aham means, my real identity. So in this aham further has Shiva, who at the first went to the level of Shakti, means Shakti only, this word is nothing else but Shakti Tattva only. So he went to the level of Shakti, and then he developed himself into Nar, means empirical human beings like us. If suppose I ask you what is your identity, so you'd start telling your name, okay, my name is this, I belong to this place. So this kind of state of mind where Dehatmavad means Deh Pramatavad, means where person identifies himself by the virtue of his body, where a soul, a living being identifies himself by his body. That is empirical Nar Avastha. So aham. So when your real, how this Chidananda Rup would be observed, when your real aham would be identical with tattvas, means 36 tattvas are there. So with those 36 tattvas, when it would be identical, and you would be able to realize that the deliberation of bhed of those tattvas are a deliberation of yourself only, and that is known as chamatkar. Here in Trik Sampradaya, chamatkar stands for a very different thing. It is bliss of swa. Your self bliss means when you realize your real self, so that bliss only is called as chamatkar. Here chamatkar does not mean that, okay, some vibhuti is there, means you can make something, you create something out of here, something like you disappear here and teleport somewhere else. So not that kind of chamatkar. Here chamatkar, in Trik Sampradaya, the only chamatkar, because that is only truth. So in Trik Sampradaya, the only chamatkar is that you realize yourself. You realize yourself, and by the virtue of that realization, you are able to associate yourself with all the tattvas which are available all around. So that these tattvas deliberate the bhed. So this is the prayojan, means the in one line the prayojan of Sri Sri Paratrimshika is to make one realize that he only is present in the form of this world. So how it happens? Aham means he is Shiv, he bifurcates himself, becomes Shakti. Vishwarup Shiv only is a Shakti. And then by the virtue of that Shakti only various Jeev Tattvas, various Nar means Jeev etc. come into being. So Nar. So Aham. So this realization when happens, so to realize this thing only this scripture has been composed. Now who is Adhikari of the scripture? So Prayojanam cha sarva pramatrinam vibho par shakti patanugrah vasho pannai tavat anuttar jnana bhajan bhavanam itham nija swarupa hridayam gami bhaven. What does it mean? Anyone who has been blessed with Tivra level of Shakti path, Tivra Shakti path, only is eligible for this scripture. Not everyone. So this is why I requested Rakesh bhai that while organizing this class, it shall be observed, it shall be kept in mind that those who have at least gone through Purna Abhishek Diksha shall be allowed, because I have various examples. I know various people who have read this, started reading the scripture and have got very fierce realizations, means they were not able to complete reading. Even on very first or second day also they started getting some strong repulsions in their work life also, in family life also, and then Adhyatmik Kshetra also. So anyone who has gone through Tivra level of Shaktipat, so Shaktipat is of 9 kinds. So Tivra level is of 3 kinds, Tivra Madhya and Tivra Mand. So anyone who has gone through any kind of Tivra level of Shaktipat is eligible for that. So in other way around, so Purna Abhishek sadhana somewhere stands in that framework. So that's why it has been told. What is Sambandh? So here in Sambandh is relation between what is told and then who is telling it. So here the whatever is told, that is Paratrimshika, and whatever is told, that also is Paratrimshika. So it means there is coherence. So both are same, means Paratrimshika is discussed and Paratrimshika Anuttar Tattva is discussed and Anuttar only is explaining it. It is directly coming from Anuttar. So that's why it is called as Parasambandh. It means Parashakti ka sambandh hai yahan pe. Parashakti sambandh is there, not an ordinary sambandh, because Anuttar only is explained and that is explained by Anuttar only. Now, why the scripture is called as Paratrimshika? So, Abhidheyam Trinshika iti means here we know that there are 3 forms of Shakti: Ichha, Gyan and Kriya. So, the Ishwari of that Nirvachan of the Ishwari of Ichha, Gyan and Kriya. So, the Ishwari means goddess. In general, it's goddess, but Ishwari means Bhagavati, who is master. She is master of Ichha, Gyan and Kriya. And that Ichha Gyan Kriya is somewhere otherwise called as Srishti Sthiti Sanghar, or in Trikadarshan Srishti Sthiti Sangharan is called as Udyog, Avabhasan and Charvan. So Udyog is Srishti, Avabhasan is Sthiti and Charvan is Sanghar. So Srishti, Sthiti, Sanghar, these 3 are Ichha Gyan Kriya. So one who operates all these is Parashakti, and that's why the scripture is called as Paratrimshika. Now, there are various commentaries on Sri Sri Paratrimshika. So, first of all, Sri Sri Paratrimshika, the oldest commentaries of Somanand Vartik. So, first of all, what is Vartik? So, Uktan Anuktat Duruktanam Chinta Yatra Pravartate Tam Grantham Vartikam Prahur Vartikagya Manishana. So, any scripture which talks about what is told, what is not told, and what is wrongly told. Means any scripture which thinks around these three things is known as Vartik. Another way around, Vartik, when science or philosophy, Darshan Shastra is written in shlok format, then that also is known as Vartik. Means if any scripture is written in shlok format and if scripture belongs to science or Darshan Shastra, then also it is known as Vartik. Then there are other commentaries. Abhinav Gupta has written two commentaries on the scripture. Then first one is Laghu Vritti. So what is Vritti? Vritti means relation between Pad and Padarth. If suppose we are saying Anuttaram Kathayam Sadhya Kolik Siddhidam. So Anuttar, then definition of Anuttar is given. So means what Pad is there, then meaning of Pad is given. And then their relation is established. So that is Vritti. And then Vivritti is detailed commentary. That only is known as Vivran. This is why you would see in English book Paratrimshika Vivran is mentioned. Paratrimshika Vivritti is mentioned in English book. So because today is first day, so we would go through the main topics, what all we are going to discuss here. And so entire scripture is divided into two parts. First part is Bimba Bhag and another one is Pratibimba Bhag. So the most important thing which we would cover here is Guru Tattva. So what is Guru here? So Mahameshwar Acharya Abhinavgupta explains it in quite detail that who is Guru. He explains that Anuttar himself is Guru. That all we would see. Then Guru Shishya Sambandha. So it is said that Parameshwar Shiv himself becomes Guru and Shishya both. And this is true also. If you will see it around, other way around, you will see that if person is not of the level of Guru, okay, so how he would be able to attain what Guru has. So in reality, Guru and Shishya are one. The Bhed is at Dvaita level only. And that is why Guru Shishya Sambandh is called, again is Parasambandh, because the relation between Guru and Shishya is Parasambandh. That only is mentioned as Guru Shishya Padesthitva Swayam Deva Sadashiva. Sadashiv himself becomes Guru and Shishya also. So that only is Guru Shishya Sambandh. Means if Parameshwar only deliberates himself as Guru and Shishya both, if he will not do like this, it would not be possible for a Shishya to attain what Guru has. And you will see it other way around. Means if you will see outside, if you tell someone about a trick or maybe simple any Tantric darshan, he would not be able to grab it, or maybe he will start making fun of it, or maybe not in front of him when you are not there, he would start cracking jokes or something else, something like, because he is not eligible person. That person is not eligible person. Why he is not eligible? Because that Shivatva is not there in him. So, and how Shivatva would come? That Shivatva would come by Diksha. That Shivatva would come by Diksha. And one more thing is that everyone is not eligible for Diksha. Not all could be given Diksha. So Kularno Tantra talks about this in detail, that who could be given Diksha and who could not be given Diksha. So that is Guru Shishya Sambandh. Secret of using word Devi. So there are 6 definitions of Devi based on Div Dhatu, which he has explained here. And then he talks about why all the scriptures are written in question and answer format. Means a question is asked and the answer is given. In general, you would listen to read it here and there, that in order to make people cram it easily, Guru and question and answer format is used. But it is not like that. There are certain reasons. There are certain reasons. The question asked comprises of uncertainty. That stands for Aham Dasha. Means state of Sthiti. Sthiti state is uncertain. Suppose you took birth. Okay. So you're not certain what would happen next. After this class, or even we are taking this one, we do not know whether the class would complete or not. Maybe it may not get completed. It may end in before that something may happen. Something may happen and class may not complete. So uncertainty is there. So aham. And when answer is given, all the doubts are shattered. All the doubts are shattered. So that is Bhairav Avastha. So that is called as Maha. So aham and Maha. These two are there. So this all he has explained in detail. Then secret of using past tense. Why, like you will see Bhairav Uvach, Bhairavi Uvach, Devi Uvach, Rajo Uvach. In Sri Durga Saptashati also you will see Rajo Uvach is there. Markande Uvach. Like, why is it that? Because the time in which the scripture lit lakar is the time in which the scripture was composed is not known. When Rudrayamal was originally wrote, no one knows. No one knows that when it was written. So the fact is, and there is one more thing which you will have to understand, that, and that is, if suppose on Earth, in India it's 9:31, maybe in UK it would be some other time, in some other country it would be other time, but all this is based upon Earth's revolution around Sun, where it revolves on its axis in 24 hours and rotates on its axis in 24 hours, and revolves around Sun in 365 days. But there are other planets which do all this process in different time as per our time. Then outside this solar system, then outside this galaxy, then outside this universe also. Like in Satya, Brahmalok, Satyalok, etc., Vishnu Lok, all those loks, if you will go and you will see that there are different time frames. So as there is no specific time, there is no specific defined time when it was told, it is the past tense is used. Now then Bhairavi Mukh is there. So Bhairavi Mukh is very, it's something very essential. Bhairavi Mukh, we will discuss it. It's an elaborate topic. Guru, Vaktra, Matrika, so many things come into that. Anubandha Chatushta we have already discussed. And then there are 16 secrets of Anuttar. Somananda ji wrote a Vartik. The book is available with me right now. This is the, I don't know. Just a minute. Somananji has written the Vartik. So this is the book. So this is the book Vartik. He wrote a Vartik. So the fact is that while writing a Vartik, he said that there are 16 secrets of, he wrote Granthi. He writes Granthi, but Granthi cannot be translated directly in English. It means I cannot translate. So Granthi is something very different. So in that case, what is that? 16 secrets of Anuttar have been discussed. So I use word secret instead of Granthi. So 16 secrets of Anuttar. So when these 16 secrets are realized, Anuttarat Siddhi would happen. Now in the next, then there is next slide. Kaulik Siddhi and Kaul. Kul. Now what is Kul? It is very essential to understand what is Kul and Kaul Sadhana. We all do Kaul Sadhana. We all are Kaulacharis. Maybe Purva Kaul, Uttar Kaul, that is different, or Mishra Kaul, whatever. But Kaul Sadhana is there because even if you are doing Mudra, you will have to follow the Kaul system. You will have to follow the Kaul system. Means if you are using Bahe Yantra and then Bahe everything, then you will have to follow the Kaul system. So that is Kaul. Now what is Kaul? Shiv is Vishwotirna, or Anuttar is there. Above Shiv is in two states, Vishwotirna and Vishwamaya. Above him there is Anuttar state of Shiv. Anuttar state where there is no difference between Shiv and Shakti. So from Anuttar, when Shiv becomes to the level of Vishwotirna Shiv, means Shiv is there. Now Shiv is there. Anuttar is state where there is nothing. But then Vishwotirna state happens, then it is a state between creation and destruction, something between that. Okay, and Shiva is about to create. When he starts creating, what he does, because he has no material, so he creates himself as Shakti. So that is Shakti Tattva. And now we shall not confuse that this Shakti is the one whom we are worshipping, because we worship Anuttar Tattva only. When we do Shri Vidya Sadhana or Dash Mahavidya Sadhana, so Sagun Sarupa of Anuttar. And the Purna Siddhi would be Anuttaratva only. One day Rakesh Bhai asked me about Subhaga. What is the meaning of Subhaga? So Bhag means a hole, a cavity. So the cavity by which we could reach to Anuttar state is known as Subhaga. That only is explained by Mahameshwar Acharya Vinogupta ji. And then this word comes into being. By the virtue of Anuttar. And then what happens? The Shiva himself becomes a Vishwamaya, and Vishwamaya is Shakti Sarup only, and he does Ashani, means he swells himself. When he swells himself, what happens? That swelling only is known as Kul, means you can say that Vishwamaya Shiv, who is the Shakti only, becomes pregnant but does not conceive. There is no conception. There is no conceivement. Means birth is not there. Delivery of baby is not there. No one takes birth. Everything exists in that kul only. So that kul only is Ashani Bhav, and Kauliki Siddhi is to realize this. Then Khechari Shakti and Sam and Vaisham. So Khechari Sam only is called as Moksha in this Anuttar state. What is that? It means that in every single object you are able to realize. That only we have seen in Anubandha Chatushtaya above. That what is the Prayojan? Prayojan is to realize that our Aham, our real self, only has deliberated as this world. That only we have already seen. So when we keep seeing everything means in office work, in home, with family, outside family, while doing, means when the state of mind is like while doing puja or not doing puja, we are in the same state of mind. Then it is called as Khechari Samya. After Khechari Samya, Veer Yogini Sampradaya is explained. After Khechari Samya, Veer Yogini Sampradaya is explained. This Veer Yogini Sampradaya is about what we usually call as Pancham Makar. This Veer Acharya Abhinavgupta explains in detail that how Pancham Makar or Panchami Kriya of Panchamakar makes one realize that what is the primary outcome. Makes one realize the Anuttar Tattva. He explains this in detail that how while doing Panchami Kriya, how one realizes it. But he says that not everyone is eligible for this. He says that only such a person, only that couple which has become Siddha. So means in that case, husband would be Siddha, and means male partner would be Siddha, and his female partner would be Yogini. So Siddha Yogini Melab. So he explains in detail that how it takes the sadhak to supreme level. After that, Prasar and Samhar of Aham. So Prasar and Samhar of Aham has already been explained to you. Then explanation of Shravana Shakti. It is very important topic which will be covered here. And by the virtue of this only, the seeker becomes Siddha in terms of Matrika Chakra, and not only expert in terms of Matrika Chakra, he also becomes expert of understanding any language. He becomes expert in understanding any language. So this is the feature. For this purpose only this topic has been explanation of Shravana Shakti. Shravana Shakti topic has been taken up, and then explanation of Trik. So Trik we have already seen for a while that it is Shiv, Shakti and Nar. So Shiv, then Shakti, and then Nar. Wherever Shiv, Shakti and Nar is there, then that is Trik. And when there is Akul Shiv and Kauliki Shakti, then that is Kul. When there is realization of self, that is called as Pratyabhigya. When Shakti Tattva is Pradhan, it is called as Kand. When Kram is there, then it is called as Kram Darshan. But the fact is that all these come together and they are presented in one basket, and that is known as Paramadvaita. So the thing is same, sadhana paddhati is same, only the view is different. It's like suppose we have to climb on Mount Kailash Parvat is Shiv only. So if suppose someone climbs on northern ridge, from northern ridge, someone from southern, western, or maybe from southwest ridge also is there. Just saying southeast ridge, southwest ridge. So in all those cases, person would reach to the peak of Kailash Parvat only, and there is absolutely no doubt in it. Now the fact is that the final ultimate realization is same, and the difference is at the level of Siddhant only. At the level of Sadhana Paksh, everything is same. So that only is discussed here. Explanation of trick. Then prasar of Shakti in three forms means para, para, apara and apara. That is explained here. And after that explanation of Hriday and which is Vyom of Swa. Here Hriday is very important in trick. Hriday is very important because Hriday is something related to Veer and Siddha and Yogini. So again Veerachar is there. So you will see that every single Tantric Sampradaya is discussed here. Means if Sri Sri Paratrimshika is such a scripture that every single Shakta sadhana practice is covered in this. Nothing is left around. So by explaining all these, the Bimb part completes. So Bimb part comprises of first four verses, and then after that Pratibimb part starts. So Pratibimb part comprises of Matrika Chakra, because see, then in Pratibimb part, first of all, how the letters evolve. Right, that complete Matrika Chakra, how does it evolve, that is explained. So Matrika Chakra is there. Completeness of Tattvas. So Acharya Abhinavgupta here in Trik Sampradaya or in Paramadvaita or in our Shakta Sampradaya also, it is said that all the Tattvas have essence of every single Tattva. Okay, so there is nothing like, okay, this Tattva is there and that Tattva is not there. So the fact is that all the Tattvas are there, and it is not that nothing is not. So in Prithvi Tattva, Shivatva is there, and Shiv Tattva, Prithvi Tattva is also there, because if Prithvi Tattva would not be there in Shiv Tattva, how Prithvi would come into being? And if in Prithvi Tattva, Shiv Tattva would not be there, how Prithvi would exist? Whatever is not there, wherever Shiv is not there, that cannot exist. So likewise, if suppose Shiv will come to Prithvi, all the other tattvas, all other top 35 tattvas would be there in Prithvi. And likewise, as Shiv only has deliberated in all the forms, so all the other 35 tattvas exist in Shiv. So that is known as Sarva Sarvatmakta. And then there is dependence of, it is explained how all tattvas are dependent on Shiv. Form of past, present, then now Bimb, past, present and future. In Bimb of Parabhattarika, Shakti only is Bimb here. Means Bimb and Pratibimb is reflection, and Parabhattarika, Bhagavati, Shri Parashakti, who is, you can Shodashi, only is Bimb here. And she only is replicated, she only is reflected as Pratibimb. With that Pratibimb only is Matrika Chakra, and that Matrika Chakra only when takes shape in the word due to sport, this word comes into being. So the fact is that Parashakti, how this Bimb is connected to past, present and future, that also is explained in the scripture. And then after that Malini, because Matrika is there, then Malini is also there. So that Malini concept is explained. And after that examination of what makes vowel a swar. So what is essence of swar, that also is explained here. And then creation in terms of matrikas. So that is what I have explained, like ka, kha, ga, gha. So all these letters represent the tattvas. So how it happens, and there is one more very important thing. If suppose this Matrika Chakra is understood properly, one would be able to understand the meaning of Bij Mantras also. Because it's not that someone one day she was sitting and he all of a sudden thought that, okay, I will give, like parents say, okay, now from today onwards you will call as Giriratna. And now I am named as Giriratna, and throughout my life I would be named as Giriratna, known as Giriratna. So it's not like that. When a Bij Mantra, I am taking example of Bij Mantra only because Bij Mantra is essence of complete mantra. In Kamdhenu Tantra, Bij Mantra has been explained in quite details, and it is said that Bij Mantra only brings in Devta and complete mantra. So Bij Mantra is main mantra. So I will explain Bij Mantra only. So the combination, logical combination of matrikas, which become Malini, and then Bij Mantra, then Bij Mantra, and that Bij Mantra, the logical combination of matrikas only would form an accurate Bij Mantra of any Devta. So how does it happen? That has to be checked. That would be explained here in the detail, and that only is known as the creation in terms of matrikas. Then Amrit Bij. So Parashakti ka jo Bij mantra hai, which is Parakram ka mantra. We all know that Ekakshari mantra of Shodashi is there. Parabij, so that is there. Tritiyam Brahma. So Tritiyam Brahma, Om Tat Sat mein jo Sa hai, usko Tritiya Om in mantra Om Tat Sat. Sa is Tritiya Brahma. So it is explained in 16 ways, because the Parabij is made of this Sa consonant only. So that's why it has been explained. After that, how to enter in Tritiya Brahma, that is explained. So again, Subhaga concept is there because Anuttar is there. So Subhaga concept is there. So after that, Bahya Puja is explained, means how Bahya Puja of this Parashakti is done, how Mantra Jap is done. So 27 kind of Nyas are done. How Digbandhan is done, then Shikhabandhan, Digbandhan, then Nyas, etc. And then how Mantra Jap is done, that is explained. And after that, Antarik Para Puja also is explained. Then Yoga Kram is explained, means Yoga Kram means by the virtue of Pranachar, how you can accomplish this. And then in Pushpika, Acharya Abhinav Gupta explains why he has written this book. So some of his pupils requested him to write that detailed commentary on the Paratrimshika. So he made this. And after that, he gives his family details. So this is the introduction of Sri Sri Paratrimshika, which I was supposed to take up today. And if there is any question, people can ask. Dhanyavad.
Sure. If there are any questions, please unmute your mic. You're most welcome to ask. Giriratna ji, I had one question. Someone had sent me on just now. You mentioned Anuttar. Now, can you put that in a simpler term? Because I think I have a couple of audiences here who Sanskrit is not, not studied.
What is that?
Anuttar.
Anuttar. Anuttar. Okay. See, there are. So I will explain in detail now. Anuttar. It will take a while.
Okay.
So there are two kinds of pratyay, tarap and tamap. Tamap pratyay is anuttam. In case of anuttam, there is tamap pratyay. So what is that? If suppose there is some white object, and there is another object which is further white. So in that case, tamap pratyay is used. Okay. In case of when tarap pratyay is used, it is anuttar. So when there is no comparison, no competition, it is anuttar. So in layman language, one who has no competitor is anuttar. There is no competitor. So the fact is, in our Advaita, Shaiva Advaita Mat or Shakta Advaita Mat, which we follow, the Anuttar, when we say Anuttar, at the level of Anuttar, there is no difference between Shiv and Shakti. There is no difference between Shiv and Shakti. Shiv and Shakti both are one. Okay. Now the fact is, when we do sadhana, when a Shaiva comes to that level, or by Shakti Marg you go to that level, you reach to the same point. So at that level, there is no difference. And when there is no difference between Shiva and Shakti, that is Anuttar.
Right.
Then there are 16 further definitions of Anuttar, which will come up when the scripture will formally be read.
Sure. Thank you. Is there any other questions? If anyone has any questions, please unmute your mic.
हाँ गिरिरत्न जी प्रणाम।
हाँ नमस्कार जी।
हाँ, वो आपने बीच में पराद्वैतवाद का भेद बोले ना, कुल अकुल और स्पंद कैसे होता है, वो थोड़ा धीरे से आप बोलेंगे, एक बार मुझे नोट लेना है उसका।
अच्छा देखिए, ऐसा है, परमाद्वैत इज ओरिजिनल नेम which became Kashmiri Shaivadvaita and now it is called as Kashmir Shaivism. तो होता क्या है कि जो परमाद्वैत है, परमाद्वैत is eternal name. Okay. When we talk about Shiv, Shakti and Nar in this sequence, then it is Krik. When we talk about Kul and Akul, it is Kaul. When we talk about self-recognition, means Pratyabhigya, then it is Pratyabhigya. And when Shakti Tattva is Pradhan, then it is called as Spand.
अच्छा, मुझे एक और प्रश्न है यहाँ पर ही।
हाँ
ये भी साधना से, ये जो कौल मत है,
जी,
यहाँ पर कुल और अकुल में ये जो पूजा पद्धति है इससे क्या संपर्क है? क्योंकि ये आपको तो पता है वो कैसे कौल मत में एक साथ भैरव और भैरवी दोनों को ही लिया जाता है।
हाँ ठीक बात है। सो आई हैव ऑलरेडी
हाँ,
एक्सप्लेन दैट। हाँ
हाँ, वो एक्सपेंसेशन के बारे में बोल रहे।
हाँ
तो
वीर
यहाँ पर प्राधान्य, हाँ, तो प्राधान्य तो शक्ति को दिया जाता है, लेकिन प्रवेश का अंत में शिवावस्था में ही होता है।
सॉरी आई डिड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू आर।
Like when we start the sadhana, we do it mainly on Shakti by taking base as Shiva. But at the end, do we ultimately recognize oneself as Shiva or oneself as
नहीं,
pure Shakti?
मैं आपको बता दूं कि देखिए, शक्ति इज, देयर इज नाइदर शिव इज मेल पुरुष, नॉर शक्ति इज स्त्री। त्रिलिंगता है, इन त्रिलिंगता है, माने शिव शक्ति, शिव एंड शक्ति बोथ आर मेल फीमेल एंड न्यूटर, है ना। सो द अल्टीमेट रियलाइजेशन हियर इज अनुत्तरत्व, and at the letter of anuttar you will neither realize that you are Shiv nor you will realize that you are Shakti, you will realize that you are anuttar। वहां पर उस अवस्था में लिंग का भेद समाप्त हो जाता है। अच्छा, वीर और योगिनी की जो साधना, जो पंचमकार साधना भी है जिसके ऊपर आपने मतलब जा रहे थे, इसमें क्या हुआ है आपको बता दें। इसमें जो हमारी इंद्रियां हैं उन means our senses of organs, so how those senses of organs become active when a siddh sadhak, means a person who has realized, and his consort come together, so by doing that thing the realization is of सृष्टि अवस्था।
हाँ, सृष्टि तत्व का साधन होता है।
तो उससे जो सृष्टि अवस्था के समय जो शिव और शक्ति की अनुभूति होती है, विश्व में शक्ति की, जो शिव और शक्ति की जो 36 एंड 35 तत्व की जो अनुभूति होती है आपस में मिलने पे, और फिर विश्व का विसर्ग होता है, सो दैट स्टेट इज रियलाइज्ड, बट दैट इज नॉट अल्टीमेट स्टेट। ओके, दैट इज नॉट अल्टीमेट स्टेट, you have to go beyond that, because you have realized the creation and then you have realized sanghar also, all that. So means, because I said panchakritya hai, srishti, sthiti, sanghar, tirodhan and anugrah. So srishti is creation, sthiti is state of operation, destruction is samhar, then tirodhan is to punish someone, means Shiv says okay, you are sinister, you go again and take birth in the life, take birth as a pig, a dog, something like, someone is cursed like that. And anugrah is that okay, Parashakti does anugrah and Aparashakti does tirodhan. That is well known, Aparashakti does tirodhan. Adha patyan kanun. So Parashakti does anugrah. So when she does anugrah, what happens? She would make one realize that he only is anuttar. So pratyabhigya siddhi ho jayegi. That would happen. Okay, so just to realize the panchakritya, पंचकृत्य संपन्नता, which is of kul and akul, akul Shiva and kul Shakti, this veer and yogini melap is done, but this is not ultimate resort, because when both are united together and they are at the level of extreme, there is no thought, nothing is there in the mind, and there is supreme bliss all around. So that state of mind, when nothing there, that is means anuttar.
हेलो,
हाँ जी, दैट ओनली इज अनुत्तर।
और ये जो पंचमकार है यहाँ पर, तो वो पहले 4 मकार देह तत्व में आएगा और अंतिम जो मकार है वही तो आपका सृष्टि तत्व की तरफ जाएगा।
ठीक बात है। हाँ। हर एक मकार जो होता है आपको उसी दिशा में ले जाता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आचार्य सेज दैट व्हाई कारण द्रव्य इज यूज्ड इन विशेषार्घ्य, सो ही सेज दैट कारण द्रव्य रिमूव्स द अष्टपाश, है ना, अष्टपाश विनिर्मुक्ता, इन ललिता सहस्रनाम also it is mentioned अष्टपाश विनिर्मुक्ता। So कारण द्रव्य removes that पाश।
comes in Vinavagupta's commentary, अष्टपाश विनिर्मुक्ता of
नहीं, तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, I am giving citation, he says that it removes अष्टपाश, Karana Dravya. That's why it
हाँ,
is
like
used.
you mean Abhinava Gupta Acharya? हाँ.
He says the same thing. It's there in Paratrimshika only.
Karana has so much of stutis. It's
Huh?
probably Karana and the last one has the most stutis over all the Makara.
Ji.
So yeah,
But
this was the
but again it is said that not everyone is eligible.
no.
You know, it's not for joy. And then Anukalpa is there. So many things are there.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other questions anyone has? No. Okay. I think Giriratnaji, you gave us a lot of thought processes that's going to be taken over the next few weeks. We're looking forward to the further lectures. And if there's no more questions, thank you very much for giving us your time.
If there are any suggestions, then that also is welcome. Means because it is first time I'm taking class in my life, so I have no experience of taking
No,
classes.
it's wonderful. Interacting is good because we all have questions, obviously, and you're making it easy enough. And I think the terminology is quite straightforward.
Or suppose there are questions, one can directly write to me on, because my WhatsApp number is available, or maybe in the group also the discussion could
Would
be
you like
done.
me to open up the group for everyone to ask proper questions if they?
Questions could be raised and discussion could happen. Today's objective was, the main objective was like there is one more way of writing. Acharya Vinod says Uddesh, Lakshan and Parikshan. That was missed. I will just explain in a while. So when any topic on which you have to discuss, that is called as Uddesh. Book can be written on a topic which is somewhat known. So a topic which is completely known or topic which is not known at all. On such topics, book cannot be written. So that is known as Uddesh. Then Lakshan are there, like Paratrimshika. So Paratrimshika, so Parashakti ke Lakshan hai, and then Parikshan means testing of those Lakshan characteristics. So Uddesh, Lakshan and Parikshan. So today's discussion was I kept only around how a scripture is made, because see, this is very authentic and I would say paramparagat, traditional scripture. So if you will not be able to understand what is Anubandha Chatushtay concept and everything, I was planning to record this also, but I think recording option was not there in this Google Meet. So I was not able to record it. So okay, I will, if someone wants, I can share the presentation also, that's not a problem. So knowing Anubandha Chatushtay, etc., and then meaning of name of scripture is very important, because it's not like of nowadays that okay, someone said called it table, so it's table. In Sanskrit, everything, if suppose something is written in Sanskrit, so everything would start from a dhatu, and dhatu would have specific characteristic based dhatu is picked up for making name of that thing, and then that scripture or any object comes into being. So that only is known as sport. That only is concept of sport. It is detailed concept. So many things are there. People may say, okay, this way also that, but this is an example of sport. So that today only sport section of this Paratrimshika has been discussed. Means what is background and what all is there. And yes, a question is there, I think. So I would like to suggest that reading scriptures would be good. Reading book would be good.
Do you have any references? I think Karthik is asking, would you recommend keeping any reference materials while studying this topic? So
I would say that, see, Paratrimshika is such a topic that if I take 1,000 classes, then also it would not be completed.
Okay.
It is such a detailed, it's such a detailed topic. So the thing is, we will take up sequentially the main topics, and we will discuss as much details as we can do, because I tell you it is most important scripture. And there is one more thing, few people, I have heard that people keep on saying that okay, reading scripture does not help. So I would tell you, then in Tantra Marg, Abhinava specifically says that there are two kind of gyan. One is Shastra gyan and another one is Paunsya gyan. Paunsya gyan is what? When you do mantra sadhana, you realize your real self. Okay, and Guru will do Shakti, but that is Paunsya gyan. But Shastra gyan also is essential. Then only Mukti is there. So, and why? Because Shastra is Paravani itself. Shastra is Paravani itself. It's not that it is. अब आप मतलब इस शास्त्र को जब आप पढ़ेंगे, I tell you, in last 5 years, I think I have done some read it 50-60 times. And every time I get to know something new. I cannot say that I have completely understood. And even every month I have to do Parayana. Means I told you story also. If I miss out, means something wrong would happen with me. So Shastra Gyan is very important. It is not that people say that Shastra padh ke kya karna hai. So this reading sadhana plus swadhyay. If suppose someone is doing mantra sadhana, mantra jap, so it is essential for him to do for at least 30 minutes of swadhyay per day. And if someone who is doing mantra jap does 30 minutes of swadhyay per day, then he will see the result of mantra jap. Immense results will be there. He would see God realization, immediate realization would happen. और जितनी किताबों में जो बातें लिखी रहती हैं, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, इस प्रकार की अनुभूतियां, everything would happen. But sadhana plus swadhyay, because 5 kind of puja are there and this swadhyay is also there. So it is very important to do swadhyay. And all those who are leveled sadhak and looking beyond means Paratrimshika is not for ordinary speaker. It is for someone who has gone through Tivra Shaktipat. So at least Abhishek Diksha is of that level. So those are qualified people. And one more suggestion is there. It's a Shastrokta also and other way around. कि भाई शास्त्र अपने पैसे से खरीद के पढ़ना चाहिए. You shall purchase the book and then read. Or if suppose your guru presents you. If your guru presents you, then it is okay. Or someone very close relative. Otherwise, if someone outsider, someone anonymously gives you a book, that shall not be read because he takes away 50% merits. Right. So reading pirated books, etc. is not good. And or asan laga ke swadhyay, it's not like you sit on table and read like this. Okay, I have a book and I will read. It's like this, I will read like this. You will have to sit on asan, do pranam to your guru, do specific mangalacharana, whatever you do, yoni mudra namaskar, something would be there, and then you read the scripture. And after that you will see that whatever is there in mantra, you will start getting realizations of mantra also, specific mantra based realization. You whatever mantra, suppose you are reading Paratrimshika and you are doing sadhana of Matangi, Bhuvaneshwari, whatever, associated to that you will get the realization. But that is important part. It is important that Shastra sadhana, Shastra shall be there. So Shastra Gyan generates the Vivek. And Vivek is very important. And then there are various Shastra का कैसे उद्भव हुआ तो बहुत लंबा इसके ऊपर quite detailed description is there. If I take that, it will take hours to explain. So, I think it is enough.
By Giriratna, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Jai Ambe, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Ambe. Jai Ambe.
Jai Ambe, Jai Gurudev Ji.